This is a Misfit Nation production.
You want to be a friend of the cartel?
Ladies and gentlemen, making their way to the studio, they are the most dangerous podcast in sports entertainment. Krishan the Don and Wanda from Kayfabe Kartel.
You're staying. You belong to the cartel now.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. This is the most dangerous podcast in sports entertainment. The Kayfabe Kartel. Got to work on my solo intro, I know. I got you. Well, speaking of which, little announcement here for the Kayfabe Kartel. So obviously you've been noticing that I got a couple comments noticing that Wonder hasn't been on the show. And Wonder was on the Misfit Nation podcast last night, so go check that out. So Wonder basically has his own business going on, and he's basically becoming pretty successful in his business. So, you know, all applause and all congratulations to Wonder. But because of that, he hasn't had that much time to really dedicate to the stream and everything. So he's basically going to take a little sabbatical. And as far as the Kayfabe Kartel side, I'm going to sort of, keep handling things over here. So shout out to Wonder. He'll be back. I won't give a time. We'll just have him surprise attack you guys. And also, he'll probably jump in every once in a while on one of these reviews, maybe one of the PLE reviews. Partially, this is also because it's not just all on Wonder. It's also because my schedule has gotten very hectic as well. So lining up me and his schedule has been just impossible as of late. So more or less, even when he gets back, we might not even be able to do shows together as much as we want. So he's going to be doing solo stuff at some point. But that's all future Kayfabe Kartel news. Just stay tuned. But in the meantime, you're stuck with good old Krishan the Don. And you can follow me on X at Krishan the Don for all your not only wrestling predictions, your life predictions, your political predictions. Maybe I'll even predict things in your own family. I'm Krishan Stradamus because I know all about maybe not everything in this world, but one thing I do know is wrestling. Been watching this motherfucking shit since I was 4 years old. Actually, we'll get into that in a little bit. Because Mr. Kevin Sullivan has passed away. Rest in peace to Kevin Sullivan. By the way, if there's anybody in the chat, go ahead and drop some comments. Let me know that you're there. Let me know that you're actually seeing this. You know what? I should be actually doing a little check myself, make sure I'm on. Would be embarrassing to know that I'm talking to my fucking self. All right, I'm not. Beautiful. I'm on. Give myself the thumbs up so I can see it. Give myself a little Orange Cassidy thumbs up. But either way, shout outs to everybody in the chat. I'm sorry. Getting caught up now. Now I feel like I'm not on. By the way, I'm using I'm using OBS Streamlabs here, and I'm going to get into Smackdown in a second, I promise you. Just making sure you guys even see me. All right, I'm on. Beautiful. Using a different program here than what I'm used to, so that's why I'm a little paranoid. All right, well, let's get into WWE Smackdown August 9th edition. Or episode. It is episodic TV, right? The Smackdown after SummerSlam. I guess after SummerSlam is now a thing. I know we had Raw after WrestleMania. That was a big deal. It was a big deal for like 5 years. And then they kind of just ran that into the ground. But yeah, SummerSlam, Raw after SummerSlam, SmackDown after SummerSlam. It's a big deal. And let's be real. They definitely did their thing at SummerSlam, so let's let them, well, at least for Raw, they fucking let their balls hang and showed us that they were still in the game. But then SmackDown rolls around and shows again why they are the B show. Why once again SmackDown has fallen. Just like London, SmackDown has fallen. But SmackDown actually started with a pretty cool video package. Now, I usually just skip these. I usually skip the recap videos, especially the pay-per-view ones, because I already saw it. I don't necessarily need to. I used to love those when I was a kid because we were, we were pretty poor. Well, I don't even think you have to be poor to not buy wrestling pay-per-views back in the day. But yeah, we never got wrestling pay-per-views. They were very rare. So when you saw the little highlights the next night on Raw, that meant something. But yeah, I think everybody more or less has access to the pay-per-views. But they actually did a pretty cool job with this video package where they spliced in fan cam footage and uploaded footage to YouTube where it showed Roman Reigns' return. So it kind of came off as like a little reaction video as well. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of a sucker for watching those reaction videos. I love watching the live reactions because you actually get the feel rather than what they're showing on TV, and the fact that they you sometimes miss things. You sometimes miss things. Like Jacob Fatu when he first debuted his entrance. You missed on TV where when the first puff of fire went off, the whole crowd went, "Whoa!" like a bunch of kids. And you see that on the live reactions. I know that's a really out there example, but I like watching those. And they spliced those in. That was pretty cool. But yeah, good little video package. Wasn't the greatest WWE video package ever. And I always have to disclaimer that to say that I don't think it's the greatest, because nowadays when somebody sees something good on WWE, it has to be the greatest thing ever. Oh, that was the greatest match. That was the greatest main event ever. Greatest Raw main event in December that ever happened. It's all LeBron stats. Let's see. Where do we start? Hey, shout outs to everybody there in the chat. I see a couple. Boban, Rican Reactions. Both of you in there. I appreciate you guys. Let's see. All right, let's start off with the thing that kicked off the show, the Cody Rhodes promo. Yeah, I know you're ready for my usual bitching about Cody Rhodes promos. But why not? Right? I was going to actually skip it because I knew I wasn't going to miss anything, but then I'm like, you know what? Why miss a chance? Why miss a good chance to hate on Cody Rhodes? And there was a couple things here that really pissed me off. Now, if somebody else did it, I probably wouldn't be as pissed off and bored by it, but this is the top guy, so gotta go after him. Well, he starts off by saying, I'm not gonna delve into the past, like he usually does. And usually, because he's such an uninteresting person, his delving into the past isn't even his past. It's his father's past. But yeah, he's not going to delve into the past. He goes, I'm going to do something that's totally unexpected. And I immediately thought, okay, he's going to say something interesting. That'd be totally unexpected. He's going to cut a good promo. He's going to not talk about his father, because that would all be very unexpected. But yeah, he basically, rambles on for kind of about nothing. Again, nothing. His Shakespearean delivery. It's all there. It was all there. I don't know what he's trying to do with this character that he's doing. If it is a character, I think it's just him being himself, so it just comes off as a douchebag. And then people around him kind of get like the douchebag rub. And we'll get to KO in a second because he got the douchebag rub tonight from Cody Rhodes. But Cody Rhodes gets interrupted by Solo Sikoa. And Solo comes out and basically demands a rematch from Cody for the championship, which Cody denies, saying that, Solo doesn't deserve it. Solo got Jacob Fatu hurt, which also kind of cringed me the fuck out. Like, why do you give a shit? It's because he cares. He even cares about his enemies. He's such a good guy. Cody Rhodes. Yeah, so basically they go to jump him, and then Kevin Owens comes out to have Cody Rhodes back in this fake, contrived, phony fucking friendship that they're pretending to have. Somebody please tell me if they're really friends in real life, because if they are, I don't even believe they're really friends. I believe their friendship is all based on like what they can do for each other. You know what I mean? But yeah, basically they kind of it all powders out. Bloodline leaves. And Kevin Owens gets ready to leave the ring, leaving Cody in the ring, but Cody goes, "Wait, Kevin. I don't want to make this awkward." Which, that's the perfect way to make anything awkward, is to announce that it's going to be awkward. Especially in a wrestling ring. Especially Cody being one of the most awkward motherfuckers on the microphone. He goes, "I don't want to make this awkward, but I want you to come back in the ring." And he says, "Listen, it's you, Kevin. You're the one. You're the one that I want to face me in Berlin." And Kevin goes, no, listen, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. He just keeps repeating, "I don't deserve it." Literally, Kevin Owens repeated, "I don't deserve it," for an hour straight throughout the show. And this is what I'm talking about, where it comes down to this like phony, maudlin friendship that they're portraying Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens to have. I mean, listen, the Kevin Owens I know would literally slap the shit out of Mama Rhodes and rip Cody Rhodes' throat out to get that title. Now he says, "I don't deserve it." Like, is this like, I don't know if this is like, and he starts going into this thing of like, I mean, look at my win and loss record. Look at what I've accomplished. I haven't accomplished anything. He's like, starts shitting on himself, talking himself out of having a championship match. Like, where did this Kevin Owens come from? This isn't Kevin Owens, and this is why I say it's the douchebag rub. It's because Kevin Owens is now almost like changing his entire character to help get Cody Rhodes over in this fake friendship. Kevin Owens is not this magnanimous as a character. He's never been. He turned on his own best friend for the championship. Or for success. Actually, I think he did on his for the championship. But yeah, Kevin Owens, I don't know if he's made enough of a change in terms of his character for this to even like make sense. And honestly, I don't think it was connecting with the crowd either. I don't think the crowd was even feeling it. I think it was really sort of dying out. Again, another Cody Rhodes promo that nobody knows where it really ends. It's like Kevin Owens has never been loyal to anybody but really Sami Zayn, and he's that even falters a lot. It's this retconning of this fake friendship that's just like, it's douching me out. It's douche chilling me out. But yeah, this whole promo was just gay as fuck. It was gay. Cody is making KO lame by proxy. Lame by association. Yeah, so basically it eventually boils down to them finally getting Kevin Owens to accept the championship match. Reluctantly. Accepting the championship match. So now at Berlin, in Berlin, Bash at Berlin, I believe it's called. Bash in Berlin. We're going to have one of those shitty respect ROH fucking sportsmanship boring ass matches that just goes on and fucking on with 20 false finishes. 20 the Stone Cold Stunner is going to be destroyed that night. It's going to get kicked out. You're never going to see the Stunner be kicked out of more than in Berlin. So yeah, we're going to get one of those indie bullshit matches in Berlin. No story, no nothing. Just two guys have a competitive match and then shake hands at the end. Yeah. Makes me sick. Doesn't work. Isn't interesting. Unless this is leading to a KO turn, but you know, I don't want to see that again. I mean, how many times is this fucker gonna turn? This thing doesn't really like connect. It doesn't fully connect. I don't know what to, nothing else to really say about it. All right. I'll move on. Excuse me. See you guys in the chat there. I'm going to get to you in a second. Actually, let me see if you're saying anything about this. I'll sort of tie it all in. There's nothing to think about it. I said what I said. Oh, wait. I'm reading right in. Okay. Stranger Things. Okay, must be Jamaican or something. It's like Kevin Owens has to babysit Cody every time he gets his ass whipped. The old Kevin would never help this clown out. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking during this fucking promo. It's like why is he so interested? And that's why I think, like, is this going to Kevin Owens, like, turning on Cody? And I know it's a lame idea, because Kevin Owens, I think, turned babyface not too long ago, and he flip-flops a lot. But it's like the Kevin Owens I know always has an ulterior motive. Otherwise, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody, except for his family, his kids, his wife. Like, he's one of those kind of guys. This, to me, it's they're sacrificing Kevin Owens' character to help get Cody Rhodes over. And you see, they got Randy Orton the fuck away from it. I think Randy Orton finally said, all right, listen, I've had enough. Let him dangle. All right. It's Boban. It is not just their friendship. Everything about Cody seems fake, like a politician. Yeah, I've said that many times. I try not to repeat myself. You already repeat yourself enough doing wrestling reviews. All right. Let's get to the next thing here. A-Town Down Under versus the Street Profits. I guess nothing really to say here. Honestly, the way they shot this match was kind of making me ill. They shot it from this weird, like, angle where it was almost like they were on a dolly and they were just, like, kind of outside of the ring and just going back and forth. And it was from this weird, like, low fucking angle. It was jarring. It's the best way to put it. And then you have the Street Profits or Montez, like, flipping around and doing his stuff. It just made it weird. it made the match feel weird. Like, I felt like they had something planned, and they're like, they only had one cameraman in the ring. I was thinking maybe they had something big planned backstage. They had to bring all the cameramen back there or something. But no, it just was a weird thing. But basically, Street Profits get now a title shot. This whole match was for a title shot against the Bloodline. So more or less, I guess Street Profits will be the Bloodline's first victims. The first victims of the Bloodline. And I think it'll be a massacre. Absolutely. I don't have anything to say about it. I'll be honest. And I'm still waiting for them to split up the Street Profits. I think it's getting very close. I'm not saying it's time yet, but it's getting close. I think they've run their course. Let's see. They're starting to look like the guys that like can't let go of their high school days and they kind of hang out at the parties too long. They're like 20, still at high school parties. It's like, didn't you graduate 3 years ago? It's like that kind of dude. That's how they're coming off. Do something different with them. All right. Any wise things to say about the fucking Street Profits, guys? In the chat? Let me know. All right, I'm going to get to the get the fuck out of here.
Get the hell out of my ring!
Get him the fuck out of here.
Now this is a collective get the fuck out of here. This backstage segment that they had with Tiffany setting up the Queen Nia championship celebration. Basically it was Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Pretty Deadly got in on the action. And more or less it was more of this. I did a video about how black women wrestlers always they all have this like ghetto kind of fucking slang to them, this ghetto babble that they always talk. White women that I notice have a similar thing where they do this like Mean Girls kind of fucking bully thing. And I heard somebody say this, somebody in my chat said this, or in my comments said this, Disney Channel bully. He was referring to what's the guy's name? Carmelo. And he said that he acts like a Disney Channel bully. And I think that actually is a really great reference. It's a great comparison to what we see in a lot of these people's characters and their dialogue and how they just act on screen. And I don't think it's them like acting. I think it's more of just like a nervous thing. And it's like when the black girls do the ghetto thing, I think that's more of a nervous, like I'm on TV and I have to say something interesting, so I'm a go, honey. They turn into the fucking Popeyes woman. White women, for some reason, do the same thing, where they do a lot of the, like that SoCal girl fucking sarcasm. Like that's like, it's not even clever or funny. Like there's one part where they say a bunch of stuff to Tiffany, and Tiffany's answer is, don't you have a ladder to fall off of? And even the crowd's like, all right. It's like, it's just mean. It's not even funny. Like, I like mean, but it's got to be funny and clever for me to, like, get a kick out of it. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, what the fuck what are you doing? And then the other girl's answer is basically, my outfit is better than yours. And then it's just this whole thing of them trying to put together this party for Queen Nia. And it was just it was literally a waste of fucking time. And this is why it's on Get the Fuck Out of Here, because of these countless women segments, little backstage segments, little throwaways that amount to nothing. You literally forget it 5 minutes after you saw it, because you repress it. It's not because you forgot it. You repress it because you want to forget it. Constantly filled with bad acting, bad dialogue. The crowd's always indifferent to it. They don't give a shit. It's a waste of time every single time. Enough of these bullshit backstage segments. Name something else on TV that's constantly this bad, consistently this bad, and is still on TV. Go ahead. I'll give you guys a second in the chat. And you can't name the obvious comparison of the WNBA. Because that's literally a direct comparison. The only reason women's wrestling exists is because of men's wrestling. And it's because it's these bitch-ass dudes who write for these women, who look at them as goddesses. And they're too emotional to have an honest conversation with these women and say, listen, you fucking suck, and you need to get better. You see the same problem happening with Sasha Banks, Monet, over in AEW. She has supposedly has creative control, and now she thinks she can cut promos. And she fucking sucks. I talked about this on my show, Misfit Nation, how there's some people in this world that I was talking about Kamala Harris, but some people in this world, especially women, that every time they talk, their stock drops. It drops just a little bit. Just a little bit. Kamala Harris is one of those. And a lot of really good-looking women are those women. Because there's a lot of good-looking women. They still look good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fag. You get what I'm saying? But their attractiveness kind of drops the more they fucking talk. The more they open their goddamn mouth. You know how many times I say that throughout my day? You know, I thought you were pretty until you opened your fucking mouth. And I'm not even lying. That's not bullshit. I swear to God, follow me around for a day. But yeah, it's just these writers that look at these women like they're trying to portray them on TV as if they're strong competitors. When in reality, all wrestling, first off, it has to be based on drama, has to be based on some kind of story. I always talk about it all the time. I know I'm fucking nailing this into the ground here, but I think it's crazy that women's wrestling, because of how dramatic women are in real life and how much they like to gossip and do all this, talk all this bullshit, and it's all about their feelings and all that, how their stories in wrestling are so pointless and emotionless, vapid. They're void of any kind of feeling ever. And why don't they sexualize women anymore in wrestling? That's important. Sexualizing women. Look at Liv and Rhea. Look at that whole situation. Why is that interesting to the fans? Whether you have, because I was in and out on it. Like, there was points where I was interested. There was points where it was almost hit or miss with me, the entire thing. Then there was a point where I got totally bored and wanted to wait for it to blow up. Now it's blown up, and I'm sort of interested again. But you look at the entire story attached to that, that's why it's interesting. There's emotion attached to it. There's feeling. There's things where you look at it and go, all right, if I was in that situation, I'd do this. And here's the thing. Liv and Rhea, Liv way more than Rhea, so I give Liv way more credit, didn't mind looking like a weak, crazy fucking cunt throughout the whole storyline. She didn't care about that. So the fact is that she wasn't trying to protect her, her real life image, which a lot of these women do, and a lot of men do it also in wrestling, but they're trying to protect their real life image. So they try to, I want to look strong. I want to look strong on TV. They sound like Cypher in The Matrix. I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to be somebody important, like an actor. But yeah, that's how they see it. That's how they all come up with their characters. What's your character? I'm strong, strong woman from Long Island, Staten Island, and I'm Italian. Okay. What about you? I'm strong black woman. Okay. Got enough of those. Got enough of those in stock. We're overstocked on strong black women. And rich white bitch. That's all we have. That's all wrestling's filled with. Strong white woman or a strong black woman and rich white bitch. That's it. That's it. So that's why that's my my get the fuck out of here. I don't need. I guess it's just a continuation of my my sort of disdain for women's wrestling and the fact that we have to treat it like it's equal. That would be my main gripe with it. Hold on, I have to fix something on my thing here. It'll only take a second, but let me get back to here. Because it is fucking me up. I don't even know if I want to explain it because it might bore you. But while I do this, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. We got 4 people in the chat. So go ahead. I should see 4 fucking likes on this video, on this live stream. I expect it. All right. There we go. All set. See that? See that? Quick and painless. All right. That was your get the fuck out of here.
Get the hell out of my ring! Help!
Get him the fuck out of here.
All right. Let's see what you guys are saying there. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Okay. Give me a second. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to go to the promo of the week.
It's the promo of the week.
Burger after burger after burger.
Choppy, choppy, beep, beep.
All right. Choppy, choppy, indeed. Okay, so the promo of the week for Smackdown. I'm going to go with the LA Knight promo. Now, little caveat, not the greatest LA Knight promo. There's a specific reason why I'm giving this promo of the week, because I wanted to highlight something LA Knight did. But not the greatest promo that LA Knight's ever cut, not the greatest promo I've ever seen. And it kind of got somewhat ruined by Escobar's rambling. But I'll get to that. The reason why I wanted to highlight this one is because LA Knight did something that I loved. And it was something I wish more wrestlers would do. And it's that he didn't... He restrained himself. And what I mean by that is basically LA Knight's... this is LA Knight's first main roster title. They played it up really big at SummerSlam and at the press conference, that his first major title in 20 years. That whole kind of thing. He had a long career. It took him this long to get here, and he's finally here, and it's a big moment that sort of it's the culmination up to this point, the culmination of his career. And he came out And the crowd gave him that. They gave him a moment. They started doing the "you deserve it." They wouldn't let him talk for a second, and he put his head down. And this is where I got a little nervous, because I thought to myself, I'm like, LA Knight can't break character. If LA Knight breaks character to take this moment, he's fucking up, because this isn't the moment, because he's destined for bigger and better things. And thank God LA Knight has the confidence and has the self-respect and the dignity to know that himself, because he didn't sit there and eat it up. He didn't go into some fake emotional bullshit, fucking speech. He didn't pontificate. He didn't do what most wrestlers would do, pretty much every wrestler would do, and sit there and ate it up and let the crowd basically bask in the crowd's adulation, and made it a thank you to the WWE universe. I thank you guys for always supporting me. And even if he did feel like that, I give all respect to LA Knight for not breaking kayfabe and staying in character and finding a way to sort of like say, I appreciate it, but he kind of did a thing of like, you're damn right, I deserve it. That kind of thing. He didn't say that, but he gave it off that way. But he did also kind of, I don't want to say, it's not an insult, but he did kind of question the crowd on the deserve it thing, because he made his promo about that word, you deserve it. And he doesn't exactly accept the you deserve it chant. And he kind of even when Santos came in later, he kind of even like criticized the whole you deserve it thing, because Santos was kind of talking about how he deserves this and that. And LA Knight was basically showing that his character, at least, isn't a guy who believes on you deserve things. And I appreciate that, because I've always felt that way about wrestling. It's not necessarily like a deserve kind of business. And the fact that they're making it that is what's, kind of making it lame. Again, world champion is Cody Rhodes. That's a you deserve it move, if you know what I'm saying. So the fact that he didn't play into that, the fact that he didn't pander to the crowd and beg for acceptance, that just shows you that's a guy who's confident and he knows who he is. He knows what his character is. It was very, I know I use this all the time, it was very old school, very traditional wrestling. I don't let the crowd dictate what the fuck I do. And I appreciate that. I respect it. I definitely respect it. So that was really the reason why I wanted to give that promo of the week. And I wish more wrestlers would actually follow that lead. Just stay in character. You get your emotional moment when you get to, maybe when you win the championship. When you get to the fucking Hall of Fame, God willingly. That's when you accept that. But you make us want that. And that's what LA Knight's doing. LA Knight's doing very, very good psychological work. So gotta give it to him. Promo of the week. And then, I guess I don't want to talk about Santos. He just he tried. He tried. Bless his heart. Bless Santos Escobar's heart. He tried and he failed. It was boring. But I'll give him respect that I could see he was actually trying something. But Escobar's bitch is fucking hot. Sexiest girl on the roster. Has to be. I don't know her name. Somebody drop her name in the chat there. But she's so sexy, it makes you angry You know what I mean? It's like you almost try to find a flaw. Oh, look at her earlobes, fucking goofy bitch. You know, you have to like tear her down a little bit. But yeah, that's the only thing I noticed during Escobar's part is his whorishly attractive woman. Promo of the week.
Burger after burger after burger.
Jumpy, jumpy, yo! Beep, beep!
Yes. Okay. Now, I noticed a little vignette for a guy named Giovanni Vici. Now I assume he's coming from NXT. Elektra Lopez, thank you, Boban. I do remember that name now. What a sexy name. Yeah, Giovanni Vici. Let's be real. Her name could be Giovanni Vici, and I would think it was a sexy name. Excuse me. Yeah, so basically it looks like it's like sort of another, rich aristocrat foreign white guy gimmick. Which sure, I don't know where he's from. He seems like, cuz his whole promo was cut in Vegas. Which is cool. They actually shot it in Vegas, it looked like. I mean, half of the promo was also like, stock B-roll footage of skiing and racing. They played it off kind of well where it could have been him. It was plausible. But I'm being a cynical asshole on that. It's wrestling. Do we really need him to go to the fucking Alps and record himself skiing? It'd be cool. And racing. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, the delivery of the promo was pretty dry. Although he was cutting it in a different language. I believe it was Italian. Vici, I assume it's Italian. I just felt like it was like I don't know, it didn't feel Italian. He has to sing with it when he talks. Margarete. Not there. Yeah, I we'll see how it goes. I won't be hard on it now based on one vignette. Maybe it's great. I talk about a lot of these people who don't speak English. If he doesn't know how to speak English, that's going to be a fucking problem, and he's not going to really go anywhere. This whole subtitle thing is like, it's cool for a moment, but he's gonna have to like slip in some English in there. He has to. But Americans, we like Italians. We find them to be cool. So, Italian aristocrat may work, may not work. Let's see. Honestly, when I first saw it, I thought it was one of those like self-help, get rich quick promo program kind of guys, like the guy that goes in his garage. He's like, "This is my Lamborghini. These are my books." One of those guys. I thought he was gonna teach me. I thought I had to like skip ad on what I was watching. But that might be cool. Might be cool. Who knows? Because sometimes Joe Hendry looks like that. And everybody loves him. All right. DIY came out to cut a promo, or they came out cutting a promo on the way to Gorilla. I like when they do these promos, but I don't think we needed every single show. Maybe every other show. But I'll be honest, this is the moment This is where this is my tap out moment.
He's gonna tap out. Yeah, he's tapping. He's tapping.
I'm tapping. I was tapping at this point. I don't know why I just wasn't enjoying this episode of SmackDown. Now, because I do this show, I did keep watching. But it was hard. Pretty deadly. I wanted to make a couple I guess criticisms on Pretty Deadly. And I won't on DIY because I just don't know what to say about them. I like them in NXT. I felt like they told their entire story in NXT, so when they got to the main roster, there was nothing else to do with them. I think they should have saved some of their story for the main roster. Or they should have just moved them up quicker as a tag team and then broke them up on the main roster, because that would have been way better for their careers. But yeah, I think they just told their entire story on NXT, and it was like, all right, now there's nothing else. We're almost watching the twilight of their career. It's weird. It's very weird. But Pretty Deadly, what I noticed with them, because they got the whole gimmick, they got the whole thing. They're being the gay wrestlers. They're the gay wrestlers. I think what they need to do is, because I'm not against the gay wrestler. I am homophobic, but I'm not against gay wrestlers. So do what you want with that. That's how you stay away from cancel culture. You have to confuse them. You confuse them, and then you keep moving. You move right on. Move right on with the conversation. Pretty Deadly. If they're going to be these, flamboyant gay wrestlers, which they are, I think they need to commit to their character a little bit more. And what I mean by that is with their wrestling. I don't feel like their wrestling actually matches the characters they're doing, because I realized it in this match, because I'm just watching it and I'm like waiting for the the scratching and the eye gouging, couple nut shots, maybe eye poking, waiting for some posing, some hair pulling, faggot shit. And they didn't do any of that. They were like, they're gay wrestlers, but they don't wrestle like gays. They're playing off these gay flamboyant characters, but then they wrestle like, average fucking indie wrestlers. Average GCW wrestlers. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna do the stupid indie cartwheel shit, then at least add in some more flamboyant stuff with that. You know what I mean? Because I get the feeling that they don't do that. They don't play up their characters in the ring, because that's almost their way of like going like, all right, we're jokes, on the promo and stuff like that, and our characters are jokes, but when we get in the ring, we're going to show them what we can really do. That's their whole thing. When in reality, they should be doing like, gold dust type shit. Rubbing on their opponents and stuff like that. I'm just saying, if they're going to be gay wrestlers, if they're going to be fags, they should wrestle like fags. And here's another thing, is when they actually do wrestle kind of in a masculine way and don't really wrestle in a flamboyant way, it makes their outfits look ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's like, commit to the whole thing. I think that's what they're missing. They do that, it would actually make them, it would complete also their comedic thing they're going for. Because with all those, like, the gold dust kind of stuff, and you don't even have to go that, that extreme, but if they were wrestling more flamboyantly, it would actually translate into more comedic spots. So I don't know. I don't know why they don't commit to it. They're already, fucking out there twerking. and popping ass like homos. Fucking just wrestle that way. It's ridiculous otherwise. All right. Let's see. Oh, they had the Kevin Sullivan tribute. You know what? Let me just wrap up the Solo Roman thing, because I don't really have anything to say about that. I'll just say what happened and then maybe give some points, because I thought it was just a basic thing. Basically, I did like how Solo called out Roman. He didn't call him out by name. He just says, if there's anybody in the back, he called himself the tribal chief. And then he said, if there's anybody else in the back who calls themselves the tribal chief, has a problem with me being the tribal chief, I'm paraphrasing, come out here right now. And Roman Reigns' music hits. So I like how he didn't say his name. He didn't do the obvious thing there. But yeah, Roman comes out, basically, takes out the other Loa, Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga, I believe. Am I getting those names right? I've been calling him Camacho since he got back, so I'm trying to get the name right now. Basically, this whole thing was, to play up that the fact that it's the Ulafala, the shell necklace thing, the red shell necklace, that the importance of that. Because once everything powdered out, Roman Reigns is in the ring by himself, and there's the Ulafala laying there, and he takes a moment and he holds it up, but then he gets attacked and gets taken out of his hands again. So, we're playing a game of CM Punk's bracelet with the Ulafala here. Wrestling is really getting to that dark place, that wacky place, I guess. But yeah, that's it was just to play up the importance of that and the fact that, and I think it's cool, because I'm just messing around with the CM Punk's bracelet thing, but it's cool because at least it's a tribal thing. There should be importance to symbols as far as tribes go. So the fact that that's an actual symbol of their heritage and all that type of stuff, like, there's a reason why that's important, and why even Solo putting it on, not being the real tribal chief, is disgracing the Ulafala. So, I don't necessarily care about the necklace thing. It's just sort of a prop in the whole thing, so that when Roman Reigns finally gets it back and puts it on, it'll be a big pop. So, and it shows you can literally get a giant pop for anything in wrestling if you build it right. We're gonna get a huge pop for Roman Reigns putting on a necklace. That's gonna happen. It's going to happen. Probably Paul Heyman putting it on him. Now, I couldn't help it, but noticing one thing, that Cody Rhodes didn't make the save. I was quite happy that didn't happen. So hopefully he won't be too involved, and spread his or the douche rub, is what I'm calling it from now on. The Cody douche rub, where he ruins everything. He puts his stink on everything. He's gonna be involved somewhere, I assume. But yeah, there was no Cody save, so I was glad about that. But obviously, I couldn't help but notice that, or I couldn't help but feel while I was watching this that this whole thing would have been totally different if Jacob didn't get injured. Obviously, would have been totally different. But I feel like they may be even rushing to Solo and what do you call it? Solo and Roman. Sorry, had a pause there. Basically, they're rushing to Roman and Solo because Jacob got injured. Like, I feel like this whole ending was a little, like, pieced together really quickly. And obviously, I don't believe this was the intended Roman first night back on SmackDown, and it wasn't really that crazy, that impactful, to be honest. So I didn't hate it, I didn't love it. I was kind of just indifferent to what happened. But then maybe we'll just finally get the start of the rebuild of the OG bloodline, because it did also show that Roman's outnumbered. Even though he wants to go at all three of them, he's outnumbered. Eventually, it catches up to him. So that's that's the story they're telling there. And that was SmackDown. I'm going to get to the Kevin Sullivan tribute in a second. I'll just kind of compartmentalize it. But yeah, tell me your thoughts on SmackDown. Do you agree, disagree with me? Feel free to tell me I'm a stupid motherfucker and that I'm wrong. Obviously, I'll push back, but that's the fun of wrestling. People take wrestling talk too goddamn seriously. I don't get it. This is all fun. All fun. Let's make wrestling fun again, right? All right. Kevin Sullivan. I am not going to lie. Because I was actually sick for the past few days, I was off the internet, more or less. I may have popped on Twitter real quick and saw Kevin Sullivan, a rest in peace to Kevin Sullivan, but I didn't take it seriously because I don't know. I was sick, like I said. But yeah, basically I found out that Kevin Sullivan died officially. I found out while I was watching SmackDown. And Kevin Sullivan, I'll tell you why he's special to me for this reason, as far as my wrestling fandom. Because when I first started watching wrestling, it was around 1993, I guess 93, 94-ish. WCW, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was the reason why I started watching wrestling. And I vividly remember that at the time, when I started watching wrestling, Hulk Hogan's biggest rival at the time was somebody who I hated more than anybody in this world, the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan. And his Dungeon of Doom were trying to destroy Hulkamania and the Hulkamaniacs. Now, I'm not sure what the fucking ridiculous story was. Now, remember, I was a child. I was literally 4 years old watching this stuff. But it was fucking captivating to me. My first pay-per-view that I ever watched was the triple the triple steel cage in WCW, where Hogan and Savage went. It was a match that made no goddamn sense. But it was Hogan and Savage starting at the top of a cage and wrestling down through waves of people. It was like the Four Horsemen, the Dungeon of Doom. I think Kevin Sullivan was in there. And then at the end, the Booty Man comes in and knocks out everybody with frying pans. My God. My God. And I think that night, the Booty Man took... I want to say it was Kimberly Page from Diamond Dallas, but I think I might be way off on that. But yeah, he took somebody's girl from them, so she came out to the ring too. I just remember that it's super weird match. And really, Kevin Sullivan was a super weird dude and a super weird wrestler, but he was he was somebody I hated for a very long time, and that was because of what a good heel he was. He was just a very hateable guy. He was a quintessential heel, a true villain. And yeah, basically, I guess kind of credited to getting me into wrestling, as much of a ridiculous storyline as it was. as an adult. Again, as a child, I'm not ashamed to say that I loved it. I loved all of it. Every time they unveiled a new goofy ass monster, Kevin Sullivan would be doing some kind of seance and over a fucking what is it called, a cauldron? Is that what they call it? And then yeah, he was like a Satanist too, and I think he incorporated that into his wrestling. But yeah, then he just creates some fucking new monster to come and destroy Hulkamania. Yeah. I bought in. I'm not ashamed to say it. But yeah, the reason where I became where I started to like Kevin Sullivan, where I started to get into the behind the scenes of wrestling, the podcast, the shoot interviews and all that type of stuff, where I finally broke kayfabe and learned how scripted and how wrestling really was, the real side of wrestling. And basically a part of it was the Benoit theory, where there was this theory, and I got to admit that I bought into this at first, where Benoit didn't actually murder his family, and it was Kevin Sullivan, because he, I guess, used to date or was married to Benoit's wife, Nancy Benoit. I guess she was originally married to Kevin Sullivan, and the story was that he went back to get revenge and this and that. But then as I grew up and I started to, really look into things, I realized that was just a bullshit conspiracy theory that, Benoit fans made up that didn't want to let him go. The same fans that basically every year try to volley to have Benoit put into the WWE Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Those people. So, yeah, I actually started to defend Kevin Sullivan, and then I started to defend him when I heard him give his side of the whole conspiracy theory, and I started listening to his podcast regularly. He was one of the first wrestling podcast, really one of the first podcasts in general that I listened to. There was a little string of them, and some of them were wrestlers, like the Conan and all those guys, and I think they were all kind of tied in together at the beginning. But yeah, Kevin Sullivan, that's when I also learned, when I started listening to his podcast, that he was actually one of the bookers in WCW, and he was a bigger wig in the business than I knew him as. I just knew him as this piece of shit that was trying to take away Hulk Hogan from us. And this this short dude, and I'm like, why are all these giants taking his orders? I don't get it. But yeah, basically I started defending him because of that Benoit conspiracy theory, and sort of became a fan of him through the podcasts. So he was really great at telling stories. If they still have his podcast up, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they'll sort of like archive him somewhere now. But he did a really great show. Whether you believe those guys or not, I sometimes I try to listen to those podcasts with like half believing it, and keeping an open mind, and really listening to it to just enjoy the stories. That's more of what I try to get out of those, is just entertainment, because most of the time that's what they're doing. And Conan even says it. He has a saying where he says, why let a lie get in the way of a good story? And I think a lot of those wrestlers kind of go with that. So you never know what's true. You never know what's not. And they're always working. And that's part of why I love wrestling. I love when I get tricked by these fucking carnies. And we don't get that anymore. Trick me, god damn it. So, yeah, shout-outs. Rest in peace to Kevin Sullivan, a legend in wrestling. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. All right. I just want to do that. I don't know if anybody gives a fuck about my take on Kevin Sullivan. Let's see. There was the AEW fucking negotiation stuff. You know what? Let me do some more research on that before I get into it, because people were asking me about it. I know a little. I don't even want to. I don't even think I should, because I don't know enough. I don't know enough. Yeah. I'll leave it there. Let me check out the chat, and then I will get on out of here. Now, this chat, again, I'm using something different here, so forgive me. I'm trying to read the chat. I'm using a different program, so the chat is different now. So I can't put your guys' thing. Wait, your guys' chat should be up there already. You know what? Maybe I'll take this moment to fix this. Ah, man. Well, I do appreciate you guys for sitting in on this. If you want to support us, go over to buy us a coffee. You can definitely help us out. I'm going to have to fix this at some point. I don't know why it's not working. Your chat is actually supposed to be on the screen, in that little blank screen there. I just realized it's not. So I was trying to fix it, but there's nothing to do there. I'll figure that out. New program, new platform here. We're going to be experimenting. All right, Boban. Those kind of moves in the ring will make them weird. They will never want them to make gay people weird. Well, nothing we can do about that. They kind of are. Kinda. They are. Let's be honest. I have nothing against, I wouldn't say nothing, but I don't hate gay people. I have a couple gay friends. Honestly, that's not just it's not like saying I have black friends I may be a little racist. I think everybody's a little racist. But yeah. I think it's fine. See, that's the kind of gay friends that I have, where I can tell them that I think they're weird. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if I can't have that kind of relationship with you, then what's the point of the friendship? Then it becomes a token. Then you're just my friend because you're gay. It's like, if I have a gay friend that I can't call a faggot, and it's like I'm just calling you a faggot, as like, doesn't even have to mean you're gay. I call my straight friends faggots. Yeah, I think that's where we need to get back to in the world. And it takes people actually doing it. Because I don't think I've ever had one of my gay friends. We've had debates about it, don't get me wrong. Always open for a debate. But they've never not been my friend because I called them a fag. Like, I have a gay friend where I'll see him and he goes, "Oh, I was just thinking about you." I'll go, "Faggot." And he'll laugh. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's my world. So in my world, I like Goldust. Was he not weird? But was he not gay? And was that not what made him weird? Come on, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. That's all I'm asking for is honesty. I'm not trying to get anybody canceled. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. I'm not going to report anybody. And that's why I say the things myself, because it's almost like, it's like wise guys. You got to see me do a little dirt before you know that I'm one of them. I'm one of you guys. One of yous guys. I'm a good fella. So I'll say it so that, you feel comfortable. I'm trying to normalize hate speech again. Because I don't believe it's hate speech. I don't believe in hate speech. They'll say the word faggot or, nigger is hate speech. But it's literally like just what I just said. Just saying them, that's not hate speech. I didn't call anybody it. I didn't say it out of hatred. I literally just said 2 words. Somebody could be offended by it, sure. But it's like, is it hate speech? And is like a hate crime worse? Like, is murder worse because I'm racist while I murdered? That's why hate crimes to me don't make sense. Like, murder is already barbaric and inhuman. Like, are we trying to make murder worse? It's like he tortured and brutalized somebody until they died. Oh, my God. And then he called them the N-word the whole time. Oh, I can't believe it. That makes it way worse. See how ridiculous that is? No, it's already as bad as it can get. All right. I feel like I don't know. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Pretty Deadly should be wrestling like queers. For that reason. They should be wrestling like pillow biters. Like toe-tapping queens. They should be prancing around the ring. Sashaying around that ring like a bunch of fags. You get what I'm saying? And I guarantee you, they'll be either completely hated, or completely over. But you'll get some laughs. Hey, listen. We all got laughs out of Goldust. Goldust was fucking hilarious. Iconic character. Iconic. I always give Dustin a lot of credit because he took a mid-card act and made it a household name. In the 90s, early 2000s, even maybe late 2000s, even maybe to this day, I think almost everybody knows who Goldust is. I bring it up to, I use it as a punchline sometimes to even people who aren't wrestling fans. And they get it. They know who Goldust is. So, yeah, that's my my argument for why they should be more flamboyant. Yes, they are, but they don't want to show that. No, I get it. Yeah. I'm just explaining it logically why it makes sense. Why it's them not wanting to do it is an oversensitive reaction. Because I guarantee you, if they actually played up like more flamboyant, like they already are as far as they're out of the ring. But if in the ring they started doing a little more risque kind of things, the gays would love it. Let's be honest, they're pretty debaucherous as a community. I didn't say individually. You see, I'm telling you, I'm a king at skirting cancel culture. That is my gift. All right. The key is not to get emotional, not to get on their emotional level. Just stay level. Stay level. All right. Manitz. Braun Breaker is over. Yeah. I think they finally got it right, but we'll see what this Intercontinental title run because I wasn't too big on the promo that he cut on Raw. It was all right, but I want Braun Breaker to just destroy shit. That's all I want him to do. Wrecking Machine Braun Breaker. That's what everybody wants to see him do. Take the fucking leash off of him. And you saw what they did with Bronson Reed. I already did coverage on that, but fucking love that. Impactful. All right. Looks like that's about it. All right. Well, I do appreciate you guys for watching. I'm pretty sure I shouted everybody out there. Yeah, I will be back for the Raw review at some point this week. I'm thinking maybe... Oh, by the way, I should be going to the Raw that's coming up on the 19th. So I may be, doing some vlogging or something like that. Maybe if there's some Floridians out there going to Raw, maybe I could join up with you guys, have a little meetup. Let me know. But yeah, that's going to be the 19th. I don't have my tickets yet. I'm actually going to go try to lock in my tickets after I get off of this stream here. And hopefully it's not fucking sold out or I'm screwed or I'm going to have to find a way to sneak in there. And I know how to sneak around that arena, actually. I went to the Trump rally and I was getting closer and closer. So it's actually pretty easy over there. Just kind of walk into places. Nobody really says anything to you. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm out. Let me give you some places to go, some people to see. Go over to Misfit Nation if you want to join in on our political discussion, our talk about life and liberty and the pursuit to happiness and whores and bitches and other things. We have some laughs. We laugh, we cry. Actually, we don't cry. We laugh. We laugh at pretty much everything. Well, not at everything, but at all the stupid shit in the world. And if you want to see that, maybe agree with some of our takes. Again, it's another place that you can go and argue with us if you want. We definitely encourage all of that. I encourage discussion, so that's where I'm coming from. If arguments have to happen, that's what happens. You can also buy us a coffee over at Buy Me a Coffee at Misfit Nation. Any little bit of help is appreciated. We did get 15 coffees. Mr. Skrill Revive bought us 15 coffees. I think that's like a total of 17 now from him. So Skrill Revive, moving up the ranks there. Moving up the ranks. So shout outs to Skrill Revive. We really do appreciate that though. Thank you. I know we joke around a lot, but yeah, we appreciate it. We don't guilt people into giving us money. We don't tell you, hey, if you want to help us keep the lights on, or if you want to make sure that that we don't get kicked off the air. It's like, what are you talking about? Honestly, I'd rather you go to shopmisfitnation.com. Get something tangible with your cash. That's what I like. I'm a capitalist. I like you give money for a product, and you can get yourself a Kayfabe Kartel T-shirt there with the barbed wire bats. Go ahead and get yours today and represent the most accurate, the realest, the most dangerous podcast in sports entertainment. I am your host. I have been your host, Krishan the Don. And I'm out. Thank you guys. Peace out.
This is a Misfit Nation production.
You want to be in front of the cartel?
Ladies and gentlemen, making their way to the studio, they are the most dangerous